action-packed tonight, and we are your hosts, Roger and
Jesse.
Hey.
Roger, can you believe it? We've made it to the end of season 1.
6 episodes done.
Did it.
Nicely done. So exciting. And you do not want to miss a moment of tonight's show. It's going to be fantastic. But hey, speaking of moments, Jesse, what has been one of your favorite moments this season?
Oh man, I've got to take us back to the beginning with Chad's dancing. You guys remember this?
Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go! Bring me down.
Oh, no, not Chad. Oh, Chad, speak to me, Chad.
Yeah, shout out to you, Chad. You were such a hit, man.
Oh. But hey, listen, you know it took us 3 days to get that shot. 3 days. And here's the crazy part. When I hit Chad with my car, Chad wasn't even there. Check out how we made it look like I hit Chad with my car.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just like literally yesterday.
Bring me down.
Our brakes down.
Go ahead.
Just like literally yesterday.
Bring me down.
Now, how about you, Roger? Like, what was one of your favorite moments from season 1?
Oh, okay, like you, I had so many great moments. I really enjoyed the moment, even though it seemed simple when I was just talking to God. But hands down, my favorite had to be when we took those beautiful Cadillacs out for a drive and shot this incredible scene.
Why is that your favorite moment?
Okay, obviously it was because of those sweet Cadillacs. Do you know that those two cars together was $130,000 and the dealership just let us borrow them? How cool is that? But no, this scene looks so good. It looks something straight out of the movie, and yeah, it's my favorite, right? But wait a second. Hey Nate, what's been your favorite moment this season?
Oh, hands down, it had to be when we did the series opener for Beginnings Part 3, where I got to shoot Libby doing a superhero landing and actually use some visual effects to make it look like she was turning Matthew into a bunch of sand.
Hey, can we watch that?
Yeah, check this out.
Roger.
I can't get to you, man. He's right there. So many great moments this season, and we had so much fun shooting every one of them.
Hold on. Roger, I gotta ask. How many milkshakes did you drink in season 1?
Oh my gosh. Okay. On camera, okay, I think there was at least 4. Let's see if I remember. Okay, so in the first episode, I made the pumpkin one, yes? And then I made a strawberry one. And then there was another one that had caramel, Kit Kat, and like coffee ice cream. That was actually pretty good, right? But the best one was the blueberry. So good. I like milkshakes.
You do realize that we've been getting feedback that says you drinking all these milkshakes in front of everyone is really cruel, right?
I don't see what the problem is. I really don't. Love milkshakes, right? But hey, Jesse, listen. The person who makes the best milkshakes is Kiara. She's the queen of making milkshakes. And right now, she's upstairs getting ready to mix up another amazing flavor. Check this one out.
Hey guys, as you may know, I am the milkshake queen. Those guys down there, amateurs. This is how you make a real milkshake. I learned this one out on the West Coast because they do stuff a little differently out there. First off, 2 shots of espresso. Perfect. So we're gonna put it right in this pitcher here. Yeah. Next up, ice cream, straight from the freezer. Those guys down there, let them thaw. Me, on the other hand, this is where my iron workouts come in. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Maybe just one more scoop. I like mine real thick. Next up, some just melted chocolate fudge. Yeah. I also really like chocolate, so we're gonna add just one more scoop in there. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna pop it on here. Oh yeah. Make sure to get all of that. And first, since y'all know I really like chocolate, let's drizzle some in the cup. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I like it. A little chunky. It's okay to get it over the counter sometimes. It's okay to be messy. Now to grab my favorite Christmas straw. Yep, that's good. I thought I'd get down in this interview action too. So let me introduce you to my friend who used to be in a super cool band called Hocus Pick. My friend, Russ. Check it out.
Hey Russ, wow, it's so great to see you.
Era, how you doing these days?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Things are good over here in BC.
Woo, on the other side of the country. For sure.
I'm so excited. Then I wrote you guys a song because I hear that you guys are doing Impact tonight. And I thought that's a great way to hang out, you know, during pandemic and COVID-19. And so, great, you guys are doing that. And I thought, you need a theme song. So I got this. It goes like this. You can't see, but I have a guitar here. I can't hold it up high enough. I'm going to go like this. Everybody get together. Everyone around the church. Impact tonight. Hanging out here with Kiara. It's Impact tonight.
Yes, I love it. Awesome. Speaking of singing, you were in this band back in the day called Hocus Pick. Let's talk about that. I bet some of the students here probably don't know what that is, but I'm pretty sure some of the parents and our small group leaders will. So how old were you when you started this band and became like famous?
famous or infamous, maybe the word. I was about like 17, 18.
Wow.
When I was going into grade 12, that I had a band with a friend of mine, and then I met another friend of mine who I grew up with, who I hadn't seen with for a while because he graduated and gone off to be a recording engineer in Quebec. He came back, we hung out, and we said, we should get all these guys together, let's make a band and let's do this. So that was Hocus Pick. And yeah, kids, if you don't know who Hocus Pick is, I don't blame you, but you could go ask your parents or Wikipedia.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. So like you were touring and stuff and opening up for like all these other bands. Like, what was like the hardest part of being in a band and traveling and being Christian?
I think that a couple of things there. I mean, one of them is just that that traveling was hard. So I look back on being in a band, I'm like, man, I feel like I could have put in a better effort, but we were tired all the time. Because if we were traveling around like in an old school bus where we kind of had bunk beds and all this, you'd try to sleep during the night and then you just never got a good rest. So the next day when you're dealing with people and all that, it was just, we always felt tired. So that was a hard thing. But I think the other thing is just that, I mean, being in a band kind of has this, funny vibe of like, oh, bands are celebrities and stuff. Yeah. So I think if people aren't careful, if you're in a band and having some success, you might start thinking that you're a rock star or whatever, and there might be a tendency there to not treat people well. But I mean, if you're a Christian, if you're following Jesus, you've got this whole way of life that you're trying to follow where you're putting people ahead of yourself and all that. And so if you're trying to do that in a band, you just got to remember that you're not the most important person in the room.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. So final question. What advice would you give to teens about going after their dreams and talents?
Yeah, guys, I just say this, that, I mean, everybody who is following Jesus, you've got gifts and talents that God has given you. And part of life is just figuring out what those things are. So to do that, explore that, ask other people what they think are the gifts that God has given you. So you can find that out. And if you can start to use those gifts, that's a lot of fun because you probably enjoy using those gifts and talents that God has given you. And so explore that. And if there's a way that you can use those gifts and talents in your work, in your job, well, that's great. You can explore that. And if it doesn't work out for using gifts and talents specifically in your work, there could be a whole lot of other ways that you use them, whether that's through your church, through like a hobby, or just connecting with other people and things like that. So just be open to figuring out what those gifts are, and then don't worry about everybody else because other people have other gifts and talents that God has given them. You don't need to compare yourself to them because God hasn't necessarily given you those gifts and talents. Just figure out what God's given you and work with that.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, that's such good words, Russ. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. Really, really appreciate it. It's so nice to see you again after a couple months of leaving early. We'll get some spite for that, but that's okay. But thank you for the jingle and answering all these questions for us. And good luck on your new job. That's super exciting. And but we'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Kira. Hey, hope you guys keep hanging out on Impact tonight. It's a good thing to be doing.
Yeah, for sure. Bye.
See ya.
Wow, so good. Thank you, Kiara, for doing that interview. But we've had some incredible guests on the show. Now, Jesse, think back to episode number 1. Do you remember our first guest? Local youth pastor.
Okay.
From Nova Scotia. Rock Church.
Spencer.
That's right. Yes. Spencer, right? And then after Spencer, we had Alex Decker. After Alex, we had my friend Jason Prasad, all the way from Ontario. And the young lady that you interviewed,
Jessica.
Right? But we cannot forget our very own Wesley Jones.
That's right.
Dude, such a great job. And Russ, thank you so much for doing the interview tonight. We really appreciate you.
You know what I've loved about this past season?
Oh, what's that?
The high level of professionalism.
Yeah, okay, about that.
think it's a mixture of both for me, honestly.
A little bit more ice on. Here we figure this out.
Want the handle?
Wait. Damn, don't say anything, okay? Wait.
The dark. Ah! Turn it on! Turn it on! Not cool, Nate. Not cool.
Alright, we have to do it again. Come on.
Why is this ending so tough? To this season. Not series. Can't believe how good that is.
I'm just keeping it going to see what happens.
Stop. Be good. Have fun.
Be good.
And keep living God out loud. Okay. And Nate. I got and Nate just spitting over my brain.
Be good. Keep living God out loud.
And Nate.
Keep having fun. Being God.
Living Nate out loud.
Living Nate out loud.
So, this is kind of what I'm talking about. So, like,
Hey, what you got left?
I got one.
I got none.
I'm going for it.
No, don't do it, Ryan.
That's really good. Yeah, I hurt my butt. Welcome back to Unconventional Milkshakes with Nate. I'm Nate. We're gonna make an unconventional milkshake. With your ingredients, take your first ingredient, water. Take your second ingredient, melted ice cubes. Mix it. Now stir it.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
I've never been happier.
Yeah, high level professionalism. But seriously, guys, we enjoyed shooting this season for you so much. It's been a lot of fun. But Jesse, listen, it's time. Are you excited?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
I can't wait either.
Let's
hey
do it.
guys, check out Beginnings episode 4.
I don't know enough. I can't do this.
Did you hear what Virgo did? Wow, I thought he was better than
Trouble living in the real world?
The world out there, this didn't work out for me.
Maybe you just need to get back out there. Try again.
I've already tried that. It didn't work out for me.
It's definitely tough, but the people out there, they need you.
You here with a mission, Roger?
I am.
Trying to get me back in the world?
Actually, trying to give us some hope.
What's this?
It's the gospel. It's the good news of God's love demonstrated through Jesus and what he did on the cross. And honestly, it's the hope that the world needs right now.
What do you want me to do with it?
I want you to share it.
Didn't people already try that? It just seems to me that the world just doesn't want to listen. Besides, I'm not ready.
Hey, you are ready. Sure, there's more things that you need to know, but right now, the gospel, it needs you.
Okay, I'm in. When do we start?
We already have. Hey, I want to remind you what we've been trying to teach you throughout the season. In virtual, we reminded you that you live in this real world. And like me, you have real moments and you have real feelings. But we also have this real faith in this real God. And as we live our lives, we acknowledge that, yeah, we have struggles. And at times, we can feel like we just can't move forward in our faith journey like we want.
But then in our second series, Beginnings, we told you that you have a responsibility to the gospel. Just in case you forgot, remember, the gospel is the good news of God's love that was demonstrated by Jesus and what he did on the cross. Your responsibility? Be a hero for the gospel. And as a hero, you embrace who God made you to be, you care for the people in front of you, and you realize that you are stronger when you are on a team that is living on mission. Now, Romans 12 verses 1 and 2 tells us this. So here's what I want you to do. God helping you, take your everyday, ordinary life, your sleeping, eating, going to work, and walking around life, and place it before God as an offering. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing you can do for him. And don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you fit into it without even thinking. Instead, fix your attention on God. You'll be changed from the inside out. Readily recognize what he wants from you and quickly respond to it. Unlike the culture around you always dragging you down to its level of immaturity. God brings the best out in you, develops well-formed maturity in you.
Let me break that down for you. As you live on mission for the gospel, here's what I want to encourage you to do. I want you to always remember God will. No, God is helping you. He's got your back. He doesn't expect you to be perfect and have all the answers, but he's asking you to trust him to help you. To help you to do what? Well, to help you to take your everyday, ordinary life. Yeah, you're eating, you're going to school, going to work, you're walking around life, and yeah, even your social media life, and live it for God on the same level that he gave his life for you. Now, here's what not to do. Because here's the deal. We don't want you to become so well adjusted to your culture that you just fit into it without even thinking. Instead, you should fix your attention on God and what he's requiring you to do, which is to live on mission for the gospel as you grow in your relationship with him. Because then, you'll be changed from the inside out, and then you'll really recognize what he wants you to do, and then you will quickly respond to it. But you got to be careful as you live in this world, because the culture around you, listen, it will always try and drag you down to its level of immaturity. But God will always bring out the best in you and develop in you a well-formed spiritual maturity in your life. Wow, Jesse, great job with the message tonight.
No, Roger, great job to you tonight.
Oh, thanks. And Nate, a little more lighting? Oh, thanks, man. But my friends, here we are at the end of another episode. But before we go, we just want to say thanks to tonight's special guest,
Russ, all the way from BC.
Yeah, it was so great to have you with us tonight. And Kiara, thank you so much for whipping up tonight's milkshake. Can't wait to try that in a few minutes. But my friends, here we are at the end of this episode and this season. So until next time, have fun,
be good,
and keep living God out loud. Woo! Thanks. We're done.